Hello, my name is Ben Tripp, and this is my website for my project, with my topic being virtual reality. So here on my cover page, you can see my background over here, my abstract down here, and my table of contents, as well as my animation going on, with my logo included right there. So making this page, I used the heading tags to make the virtual reality title and my name. Here I used the script tag in order for the viewer to see the current date at whatever day it is. Heading tags for abstract and virtual reality, in which the abstract I talk about why I chose virtual reality and what exactly it is. And here I have my table of contents, in which I use the unorganized list tag to number and list the pages to my website, as well as link them using the href tag to each page. For my background, I used a website called Pixlr, and you can see the edges here. I started with a base background picture of fireworks, while I added a picture of three different people using virtual reality headsets in the background, which you can't exactly see. And at the top, you can see coming out here, a text box that says virtual reality at the top. So for my animation, I also used a website online which put three images together for me in the form of a GIF. And this image right here precisely is my logo, the one that says virtual reality. And I did that on Pixlr also by making a border first, adding a text to show virtual reality, my topic, and a base image using the VR headset. So as we look into the first page of my website, we can see that I have my banner here that links back to the home page. I have that on every page. A background and my buttons to go to the previous section and next section for each of the websites. So on the purpose website, I have my first prompt that states, indicate the name of the innovation and provide a clear description of its intended purpose. So here I talked about how virtual reality has not necessarily solved any problems yet, but has been more made for entertainment as of now, as the technology is recently being developed, but has so much time to develop that there's almost countless ways that virtual reality will be able to solve problems in the near future. For my second page, which is my effects and impacts page, I have my second prompt, which says explain a benefit and or harmful effect of the innovation. So again, I talked about the usefulness of potential simulations and current simulations that are on virtual reality headsets. As the technology develops, I believe that there will be a lot more realistic simulations that will actually help people learn piloting, sailing, driving, and many other ways for things that can be simulated. For the next prompt, I have explained the impact that the innovation has had on society, economy, and or culture. So mainly I talked about society and culture as it's been a new technology that's developed that is mainly used for entertainment purpose, in which you can play games, watch movies, watch videos, interact with your own world, basically. For the next prompt, prompt D, it says indicate one field other than computer science which the innovation has impacted or has the potential to impact. Again, I talked about entertainment for the most part because it mainly, or the headsets nowadays mainly just are able to play games, watch movies, and run simulations, as well as do expected things like browse the internet and take pictures. Over here, I also have a graph that indicates a survey I did in which I had people in my class rank on a scale of 1 to 5 how much VR has impacted them. So here I have the age of each person that took the survey and what they ranked, with the majority being ones and twos, with very few threes and fours because of how recent virtual reality is and how not many people have gotten the chance to acquire it or try it yet. At the bottom right, I have the video I made for a previous assignment in which I recorded with my cell phone and edited using the WeVideo.com editor. So that concludes my video in which I had a friend try out my VR headset and ask them a few questions about what virtual reality is to them and what it can be. For the next page on my website, I have the technical impacts page, which includes two more prompts. Prompt E stating describe how a user interacts with the innovation. So here I use mainly an online article that described the nitty-gritty of how we actually use virtual reality devices because there's so many different devices that are produced by companies such as Sony, Samsung, and Oculus. But in this article written by Charlie Fink, he describes just exactly how you're viewing the environment you're viewing when you're using a virtual reality headset. So with the two lenses that are used in a headset, he goes on to state these lenses focus and reshape the picture for each eye and create a stereoscopic 3D image by angling the two 2D images to mimic how each of our two eyes views the world ever so slightly differently. Now, since with virtual reality headsets, the movement of your head is very important because the screen will follow wherever you're looking. He goes on to explain this by saying, a system called 6 degrees of freedom plots your head in terms of x, y, and z axis to measure head movements forward, backwards, and side to side. So with all this technology, the image that we see from virtual reality can alter using our head movements and also our eye movements. So that's pretty much how you interact with a virtual reality headset. So for the next prompt, describe in detail how the innovator's technology. So for the next prompt, describe in detail how the innovation's technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithms, programming, and/or the internet to accomplish its purpose. So here I talked about how programming language is super important to virtual reality for their applications, including games, internet, and viewing videos, movies, anything on YouTube, or anything you download. So I mainly talked about the programming language C Sharp, which is the most commonly used language for programming games for virtual reality. And the reason I talked about programming language is because the language for virtual reality has to be so much more advanced because there's so many more aspects of using a video on virtual reality rather than just looking it up on a computer or a laptop. So I also talked about other languages such as C++, C++, Java, and Python, which virtual reality applications use at the same time, but most commonly use C Sharp. So for my second to last page, I have my relationship to data page, which includes the final two prompts. For prompt G, it says describe how the innovation consumes data as input, produces data as output, and/or transforms data. So here I talked about the differences between a virtual reality headset processing data rather than a laptop processing data, because with virtual reality, the main processor in virtual reality headsets